Yeah, I thought I'd do a quick course walkthrough. I've just set the fastest time again. Someone else will beat it at some point, but for now it's the quickest. So I'll just some people are struggling to learn the course. The racing line I think is unhelpful, so hopefully this will give you a bit of insight into what might be decent-ish lines. They're probably not the best lines, but they're doing the job for now. Okay, so here you're looking for, there's a orange post on the right there. You want to tip it in into St Ninians early and then down Bray Hill early. Try to hold to the left here. Around the bottom you need to be aware of your line. If you're too close in on the right, then it's going to pull you in, so you need to let go of the steering early. Flat through here, then let off a bit, hold about half throttle, and as soon as the bike's stable again, braking hard down into Quarter Bridge. First gear around here. Careful on the suit though, because the back comes out easily. And then straight down the straight, accelerate as hard as you can, get up to about 6th, and then start braking. Run out wide so you can get a nice turn in. I turned too far for the first one, so my turn through the second half wasn't great, but on the power as quickly as you can, because then that makes a difference all the way through to the next braking zone. That's kind of a common theme here. The earlier you get on the power, the more difference it makes as you go further down to the next braking zone. It's down to 5th for the first corner here, down to 3rd for the second two. You want to get on the power early here, because you've got a long uphill drag through to all the way to Crosby. You're flat now, so again it shaves off a lot of time if you're on the power early. This just rolls through at 6th, top speed through here. On this bike you can make it round Balagaria at top speed. You just have to tip it in as soon as you start seeing the crash barriers. So as soon as you get far enough over the crest to see where the crash barriers are, tip it in hard and it'll go round. Flat all the way through here. You're looking for the telegraph pole on the right as the tip-in point. Hug this curb, and then hug the left curb. Well, that's not a curb, it's a hedge, I suppose. Flat over Crosby jump. This section's a bit of a breather really, because you're not doing much. Top speed, just flat everywhere. Just try to be smooth on your inputs. Down to 5th for the first left-hander. Maintain a bit of throttle to keep it steady. Down to 4th. Again, a little bit of throttle through these corners because they're bumpy. And then as soon as you're upright, get the power on. Down to 5th or 4th here, depending on bike. And again, as soon as you're tipped in for that right-hander on the power. Let it run a little bit wide here so you get a nicer line into the left-hander at the bridge. And careful of the back end there because it's a little bump on exit. 6th gear again, flat through here. I lift for this right because I've lost quite a number of good laps at that point from just firing it off into the hedge. You're looking for that shadow for your braking marker there, which isn't ideal because you can't play on any other time setting, but that is where you should start braking for Balacrane. Up to 3rd, up to 4th, tip it in, and then level it out and on the power again. You can be on the power all the way through there. You want to watch out for a bump just on that bridge there, then down to 4th. This corner's horrible and bumpy, so you want to maintain a little bit of throttle and just keep it round. Lots of engine braking here, down into 3rd for the right-hander, either 3rd or 2nd for the left-hander, but you want to make sure you're tipping in for the left early so that you get round it tight. 2nd round that right-hander, and then up through the gearbox again. 4th or 5th there, then back down to 4th for this left-right. Again, try to tip it in for the right quite early so that you're holding the inside. It gives you a better line into the start of Glen Helen. And then down to 3rd for this part, and then just sort of maintain a little bit of speed. Down to 2nd, up through first part of the exit at Glen Helen, and then the right at Sarah's Cottage is another 2nd gear corner. And again, you want to get it on the power nice and early here. I believe I made a mistake on this section. Yeah, I didn't hold right far enough, so I had to slow down around that left there, which is a shame because again that affects your drag all the way down Cronkerbody. So you've got seconds you can take off your lap there. Flat here, obviously. You're just looking for this sort of let off here and turn in early. This exit is horrible, depending where you are on the road. If you're on the inside, it'll fire you onto the inside curb. If you're on the outside, it throws you into that house, so you want to stay middle. 5th gear through all 3 of those bends, up to 6th again here. And then for Hanleys, you're braking hard, down to 3rd, tip it in. I tipped it in too early for the right there and just caught the wall a little bit. And then straight on the power again, all the way through here, up to 5th, up to 6th. And now coming up to another scary section here, which is Bagaro. Let off around here, down to 5th, just let the engine braking take it. Tip in early, don't run into that signpost on the outside. Bottom of Bagaro also scary. I let off a lot here because I knew I was on a decent lap, so I didn't want to fire it off into the field. Flat through to here, down to 5th, down to 4th. I do now. I used to stay in 5th and let it roll through, but I just feel like I get a more stable run into these 2 corners. I was on the power late there because I slid a little bit. You want to be on it earlier because, again, it's start of a straight. Down to 3rd for the right-hander into Kurt Michael. And then on the power, and you're looking for the curb on the inside, and then the curb on the inside again, and then the curb on your left. This exit is tricky. Off the power a little bit, you want to be quite far on the right, round that right-hander, so that you can make the left flat out. Down to 5th and just roll it over there. Down to 4th and tipped in. You want to be no input on the steering over that jump so that you land smooth, and then just flat through here. This section gives me the shakes if I'm on a good lap. This right-hander particularly has a tendency to kick you out towards the curb, but you can be flat through here if you get the lines right. Then I let off around here because this right-hander also wants to throw you into the curb if you cross over the centre line. There's a negative camber and a bump. And then flat all the way to the braking zone for Bluff Bridge. Bluff Bridge, you want to get it down into 2nd. Just let it go over slowly so that you can get back on the power. You have to be careful on the power coming out of there. If the bike's not fully settled, it will just throw you off into the wall. And then you're flat again. Ideally all the way to the wildlife park. I think I lift slightly on this left. Yeah, just a little bit to help the turn in. Nice big jump. And then you've got 2 flat right-handers, and then you're into the wildlife park and Quarry Bends. Down to 5th for this. I used to come into this a lot quicker, but you're better off just getting around these ones than on the power as hard as you can here while still making the turns, because you've got the whole of Sulby straight ahead of you. So the quicker you're coming onto that straight there, again it takes, by the time you get to the end of the straight, you're taking seconds off your lap. Flat now all the way to the braking zone for Sulby Bridge. So you've got this right-hander, try to stay on the left side of the road, the right side's bumpy, and then hard on the brakes down into 2nd for Sulby Bridge. Get it tipped in. On the 1000cc bikes, on tight turns like that, you just want to get it stopped, get it turned and get back on the power. 3rd up through here, I nearly lose it there. And then this bit's horrible, you just want to maintain a small amount of throttle to keep the bike settled. 2nd gear on the left. Half throttle through here again, 3rd or 4th. And then as soon as you're straight for this bit, you want to be on the power, because you're on another long drag now. Flat all the way to there's this bump coming up just here, so you want to let off a little bit. Then 5th gear, try to stay on the sort of middle or left side of the road. The right side is bumpy. Down to 2nd for this other left-hander that looks much like the one a few corners ago. Then you're coming through to conker trees. To flat through here. Aim for the wall on the right and then tip it in. It slides a bit on this bike, but it's okay. And then I'm gentle through here because it's bumpy and horrible. So down to 5th. Around the right, and then you just want to get it tipped into the left and on the power, and then little lift off for the right hander here, and then on the power again towards Ramsey Grammar School. Down to 4th before you tip in, and just careful around here, it's bumpy and you can end up in them railings on the right. And then braking hard for Parliament Square, 1st gear, You want to be careful on the exit here. The line I'm on there isn't bumpy. Anything to the right of that or the left of that is very bumpy. Down to third or second for this right-hander. Just gently on the power up through. Down to second for this left-hander. You can be quite a bit quicker through there, but at this point I was looking at the timer and thinking this might be a good lap. Third gear through that right-hander. And then down to first for Ramsey hairpin. Again, on the 1000cc's, just get the thing stopped and round and then get back on the gas. Gently up through here, third and fourth, back down to third for the right-hander. It's easy to clip a wall on this section, down to second for the right-hander. Again, you can be quicker through there, but I just didn't want to ruin a good lap. Third through both of these, and then up through the box, before braking back down to third for the next two. Again, you can be quicker through there, but slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Down to second on this bike. Most bikes it'd be first, but coming out of there and first in the Sutra is guaranteed to throw you off. And then up through the box again. Ideally flat through these two. I lift for this left, because it has a tendency to slide if you end up on the right hand side of the road. Down to fifth for this right-hander, and then on the power. Quick as you can through here, lift a little bit for the first left, and then fast, and then hard on the brakes for second gear around Guthrie's. Back on the power again. You can be flat through here, but I'm half throttle I think. You see how it slides at the back end on this bike. Most bikes are all right through there. Fourth through the right-hander, just careful because there's a bump that throws you out to the left. And then flat again all the way through here. This is another section where you can take a quick breather. So you're looking to be flat all the way through. You can take both of these right-handers flat, but I lift about here, yep. And then down to fourth for this left-hander. And then just hold the power, and then back on again. Up through to sixth, there's a big bump on your left here at that shadow. Tip it in for the right. You can get through both these rights flat out, but again I'm being a bit cautious here. Down to fifth. This is bumpy, so just don't over egg it through there, there's no point. And then you're through the veranda, fifth, holding about half throttle until you get to here, and you know you're going to get all the way round, and then you can go full power again. Tipping it into the right, and back down to fifth as soon as you're almost back up to upright. Again, this is bumpy and it throws you to the outside, so don't over egg it. And then just hold in middle of fifth gear for these three rights, because you need to get stopped for the bungalow. Down to third. Make sure you're in nice and early on that one, because otherwise you can run wide on the left and then you ruin your run all the way out. And flat again through here. Braking down to fourth for this next right-hander, and then down to third for the left. You can probably be quicker through the left, but as you see, it slid a little bit there, so whether it's worth risking or not. And then you flat through to that braking zone, fifth gear. You want to hit the apex on the second and third corners, not the first one. Braking down to fourth for windy corner. Could have been quicker on the exit there, could have been on the power earlier. And then flat again. And you just want to watch your lines through here so that you can have the bike relatively stable to get it brake down for fifth gear for these two lefts. You don't want to end up being braking while you're still leaning right and having to get the bike over to the left. Down to fourth for this right-hander, and then third for the left. And then on the power again. You can be flat now all the way to the braking zone to the Craig, but I lifted a little bit before that corner. And then braking hard for the Craig, which is the second gear right. It's a big bump about halfway through it, so make sure you're not more than half throttle there or it throws you into the inside hedge. It nearly did to me and I was only on a quarter throttle. And then flat all the way to, I can never remember whether it's Brandish or Brandywell, the left-hander here. I know it's one of the two. Down to fifth. get it tipped in and then get back on the power. You want to be coming out of here about 170. And then your braking marker for this is the wall, so when that wall starts, down to 4th. Bit bumpy, it can throw you out if you're too quick through there. I don't like this section, so I'm down to 4th. You could be through here in 5th probably, but the bike's just so unsettled through there. And then braking down to 2nd for signpost. There's a tendency to oversteer there if you lean in too hard, so just maintain sort of half analog stick lean, and then 3rd through here. And then get it down to 2nd to get into the new part of the access road. Big bump on entry there, so wait till you're over it before you accelerate. And then you just want to keep it slow through here, down to 1st. Get it around that corner. I was very cautious putting the throttle back on there, because the last 3 laps I've done on this bike I've lost it through there. Then up, and again that bit is big bump, up to 2nd through it, and then straight to the finish line. So I hope that was at least a little bit useful. If you watch this and then beat my lap, let me know so I know where to send the hate mail to. Have a good one.